Hello everyone, GoldenHawk here, creator of Ancient Powers and High Priestess of the House of Life. I decided to come on today to talk about the dimensions that we're actually living in and a little bit about how realities work. It's a whole lot more complicated than a lot of people think, because the Earth itself is created by a multitude of realities. There is by far more than one past, and pasts can be changed through a reality shift. And there is a multitude of futures, most of them probable futures, because of whose reality most people are living in. And this comes down to dimensional pieces and understanding a little bit more about the dimensions. We are basically connected to a 9-dimensional helix, and this helix has a starting point, which is the Earth's core, and the Earth's core vibration, which is an icosahedron shape in sacred geometry. And the helix brings us out into the other higher dimensions, out into the gate for the 9th dimension. We call it a gate because of the frequencies that are involved. And then there is a shift, which a lot of people call the 10th dimension, or the 10, 11, 12. And there's a few other pieces that play out with this. A big piece is the blue universe, which is beyond the Sirius gateway. And Sirius B holds everything within our dimensions, basically in orbit. Everything. And due to the cataclysm, and we could say which one, but let's go with the one about 10,000 years ago, which shifted the Earth's crust 23.5 degrees off from its inner poles, its natural poles. I saw a picture today of a beautiful icosahedron inside a secondary icosahedron, and they were off. I mean, with the inner icosahedron tilted, and I went, oh yeah, that's it, of course. And I just had to kind of giggle. And that's where we're at. The iron core crystal was basically at a level that we could say unconscious or subconscious to most of what was living on the surface. And with the 2nd dimension, we could say the elemental dimension, which is made up of the elements, like the elemental table. That's not the same as the heavy metals. And also viruses, microbes, bacteria, and elemental consciousness, which is connected into a warp. Hi, Christine, Timothy. So most of humanity and the other beings living on this planet, the green velvet, the green and growing things, the 4-footed creatures, serpents, reptiles, fish, everything living here has been very aware inside 2D because our physical bodies are basically composed of a 2D structure for our floor and what comes up inside us for the structural pieces. And our structuring pieces, the creative pieces between our floor and our ceiling being 4D, we have these physical constructs rooted out of 2D, whose actual real core vibration is 1D and connected. Outward is just the outer surface of the earth is not connected. The consciousness isn't connected, and the 4D quantum field that humanity is plugged into, and also most of the mammals, at least on the planet, are connected to, is a probability field. We are 4D quantum creators. We are, with our thoughts, with our actions, with our inner core beliefs, which most of us do not even know exist. They're in the subconscious, they're in the alpha, and we're acting on them, and creating from it. But it's not what we think in our heads, and it's not what we want to believe. What we want to believe and think in our heads will at times take us pretty high up into the probability field. But that keeps us inside the quantum loops, a closed quantum field that humanity can't quite leap out of. It takes 1/1000th of whatever the measure is, so 1/1000th of the mass consciousness of humanity on the planet at any given time to make the leap. There are people who have made the leap. They are inside the open field, and they are connected into 5D. And there's actually a way to know this, because it actually opens up within the field around the body, and it will open up. Castaneda called it a sorcerer's body, and it opens up other bodies. Most people work from the astral body. The emotional body, the mental body, are not bodies that move outside of the field of the astral. They are bodies that are highly connected to our own bodies and mostly interconnected to the emotional fields of others who feel as we do, chemically react in a connective or cohesive matter with the same type of chemical reactions. Those are emotions. The mental field or thought field is definitely connected into the quantum reality of 4D. So we are creating and recreating what we have been taught at a very slowly evolving rate, what our ancestors were taught. A lot of this was taught under torture and duress, and it's deep in servitude to belief structures that belong to, we could at one point say, the ruling classes, the governing classes, the church, and to a complete body of structure that no one wants to think, or very few anyway, want to think that they believe any longer. But we're still creating it. We're still creating war. We're still inside scarcity. And we're still to such a point in survival that we have survivalist groups and survivalist stores, and we're serving a survival mindset. and looking out at a great deal of the Great Depression added to this hugely and brought another 4 generations, 7 generations, 10 generations. It's like, what structure was your family's religion based on? But it brought another structural piece in to compound this. And now we have it happening again with the fall in 2007, 2008. And it's like, oh, we're not in a depression. We're not in a depression. We can't be in a recession. But the cycles happen over and over again. There's more homeless people, and there's more survival energy coming out, and there's more distrust. There's more racial unrest, and it's never been really the races. I know what my family was doing here during the Civil War, and they were on different sides of it for different reasons, but most of them were involved in the Underground Railroad. I know what my family was doing in 1532 here. And we were establishing away from king, country, and church because they were after us. So it's not a racial problem. It's a power over problem. It's a problem that keeps us from uniting because there's a great deal more of us than there are of those who are in power. And stepping into power, realizing that we are generating, continuing to generate, regenerating that which has been lived before over and over again, and finding a way to bring us out of the ancient belief structures that have been put into us. Amen Ra, ho, the ancient belief structures that have been put so deep into the subconscious that we don't even know we're cellularly reacting to it. That is affecting our dreams. That is affecting our daily interactions, how we react to the smallest piece. Somebody cutting us off on the road that are probably not cutting us off. They probably had a different level of timing, and you could have been in the blind spot. Was it really done on purpose? Are people really just trying out there to irritate and frustrate other people and trying to take from them? And I found that this isn't true. I found that a great deal of people have a tremendous amount of generosity and a great deal of caring, and they will give themselves away to help even strangers. And we need to shift ourselves into that reality through connecting truly into the higher dimensions, or perhaps by connecting really back into the iron core crystal, into what centers our cells, into what keeps us healthy, keeps us regenerating through the decades of our lives, keeps us from falling into immunodeficiencies, falling into so many different types of diseases. What dimensions are you living in? What are your thoughts and your energies creating for yourselves and for others? I don't support our troops. I don't support war. Do I love and care for and honor those young people that are taught to go out there and do that? Absolutely. Have I helped them when they've come home? Absolutely. Do I support the fact that they've been put in a situation of war, survival, scarcity, loss. No, I don't. I don't support that. Have I helped a great deal of them heal? Yes, I have. Will I continue? Yes, I will. Do I look down on them for it? No, I don't. I have a great hope and a true belief that humanity in the greater whole can unite. Absolutely can unite. I don't believe in peace. I don't believe in war. I believe in creation, and I believe that we can create something different. I believe that we can create what we truly desire. I know we can. I know we have to be realigned. I know that this has to be emptied of the deep, deep fears from the cataclysm itself and from thousands of years, thousands of generations of training to jump through hoops, to answer when the bell rings. We can get beyond it. We can hold for our subconscious mind to align into our conscious thought field. It takes work, it takes maps, and it takes time, or maybe it doesn't, because maybe time doesn't exist. Depends on where we're at in the dimensions and in the reality we're in. So come along with me and shift your reality and clear the subconscious. I will be putting up an Egyptian rods course soon, which is very fun, powerful, and we get to use magic wands if we want. So I'm going to have some other pieces up and some discussion pieces where you guys will be able to actually come in and talk in groups, and it's going to be an adventure. So come along, and I love you all. Never. And by the way, you guys, put some questions up. Okay? Questions? I like questions. Because Hawthorne starts answering. You know, it's fun when she answers for one of the other netters. I like them to come through. Blessings.